Happy day. It's a good day. It's a good day. It's such a good feeling to know you're alive. It's such a good feeling to. Okay. Why am I feeling more and more like Mr. Rogers? Either Mr. Rogers or Ethel Merman. I don't know. I was like totally channeled. I was in here setting up, getting everything ready. And seriously, Ethel Merman. I had a dream about you, baby. It's gonna come true, baby. Okay. All right. 50%, maybe even 70% of the people that are ever listening to this don't even know who Ethel Merman is, but that's okay. She was a badass in her own day. Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining. Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening to me channel Ethel Merman. Because you know what? That was the beginning of a song from Gypsy. And the song is, you'll be great. You'll be swell. You're going to have the whole world on a plate. Starting here, starting now, baby. Everything's coming up roses. And that is what it's all about. Colette, hello, how are you? Welcome. That's what it's all about, right? The topic today is guilt is hell. What's its opposite? You know, that our unloving thoughts are keeping us in hell. Our unloving thoughts about ourselves and about others are actually keeping us in hell. And if I had loving thoughts about myself, like starting here, starting now, it's going to be great. It's going to be swell. I'm going to have the whole world on a plate. Everything's coming up roses and daffodils. Right? If that was my overarching perspective on life, how do you think life would be meeting me? And so I want to talk a little bit about what's going on this week at Rythmia, because one of the things that I love to do is I get to be a part of this transformative place where people come every week and I get to see, oh my God, today's Thursday, right? And I got to do part of the opening talk on Monday, the welcome talk. Jerry did the first half, I did the second half. And then I've gotten to talk with the guests throughout the week and then lead the integration classes every afternoon. And so Tuesday afternoon, it was crickets. Like, who saw this? Who experienced that? Who had a surgery? Who? Nothing. And I was like, okay. I trust. Didn't look good, but I trust this medicine. I trust this program. I trust God more than anything. I trust the power of the divine consciousness and that there's an intention that everybody's having to be here. Hey, everybody over there. And Nikki, what's up? Joy, good to see you. I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see what's going on. All right. I have to see what's up over there in Instagram land. Hey, all right. Hey, what's up? Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining. So I trust in this process, and I trust in the presence of God that when there's an intention, with intention, things begin to happen. And everybody here comes with the same intention. Well, people come with all sorts of different intentions. And we have 3 group intentions. Show me who I've become, merge me with my soul, and heal my heart. And nobody was getting it after the first night, which statistically was a little odd. I have faith. I trust. I have faith. I bring my awareness to know that every week it always turns out. Every week it always does. So I didn't worry. I could have put the energy of worry on that, but I didn't. Tuesday night, going into Wednesday's plant integration. More people, some surgeries, seeing things, merging with their soul, having rebirths. Okay, cool. Today, I walked into Roots, our restaurant, for lunch, and people were like, oh my God, last night was amazing. And so like a good 50% of the group was like popped. And this is amazing. And I'm getting to see something about myself. My alarm just went off on my watch. I'm going to stop here. My alarm just went off on my watch because I'm doing a practice today. My practice today is every 10 minutes to stop and say, I am blessed as the Son of God, and then declare what qualities I'm feeling right now. I'm blessed as the Son of God. I am joy. I am clarity. I am oneness. I am abundant and prosperous. I'm strong. I'm courageous. I'm beautiful. I'm happy. I'm content. I'm satisfied. I'm excited. Every 10 minutes to do that today, throughout the day. That's the practice through the Course in Miracles. So probably twice during our conversation today, I'm going to stop and do that. Just FYI. So the example, the microcosm of the retreat is reflecting the greater idea of what I wanted to talk about today, which is our unloving thoughts are keeping us in hell. Our worry, our doubt, our fear is keeping us in hell. And we have the choice to turn the page on that worry, on that doubt, on that fear. That's our choice. And it's not easy, but it's completely possible. It's completely possible. There was a lady today I was talking to at lunch, and she said, I always get to the same place in ceremony. I see the same trauma, and there's the trauma, and there it is, and I just can't get past it. I can't. That reminds me of a really bad joke that I'm not going to tell. I can't get past it. Okay, sorry. I went into Borscht Belt comedy there for a minute. Back on track. She said, I can't get past it. And I said, it's your choice. In ceremony tonight, you can consciously say, I'm turning the page on that. I'm not like, I'm accepting that there's a part of me. I'm not denying that part of me that feels that trauma, that feels that sadness, that feels whatever it is that she's feeling around that trauma. And now I'm turning the page on it. I'm consciously choosing healing. And that is it. I'm consciously choosing to heal. I'm consciously choosing to think another thought. I'm consciously choosing to think loving thoughts instead of worry thoughts. Just like this process that I'm doing today, every 10 minutes, I'm consciously reminding myself that I'm blessed already. You're blessed already because you are a son and daughter of the Most High. You are an expression, an individualized expression of a infinite consciousness that you come from. That we did not come from nothing, and we certainly didn't create ourselves. We didn't have anything to do with the creation of this magnificent organism. So why do we think that we have to have so much to do with the rest of the shit going on in life? We can allow something to move us. I'm not saying that there's nothing to do in life, but when we assert our control and try and make it happen, generally that's based out of fear thoughts of worry, doubt, lack, limitation, not enoughness. And that's coming, where your come from is lack. And it's I got to make it happen so I don't feel those things. If I can settle into, I'm just going to choose to have loving thoughts right now. I'm going to choose to see myself as blessed son or daughter of the Most High and declare the qualities that I'm either present to right now or the qualities that I want to cultivate right now. You will see a magnificent shift in your life. It is just a matter of choice. Again, it is not easy. It is not easy because I, for one, can speak for myself. I can get very attached to my story, very attached to the story. And I don't want to give it up. My mom used to say, that's like holding a thorn in the palm of your hand and going, this hurts. Can't you see how much this hurts? Look at this. It's hurting me so much. She would say, all you have to do is open up and pluck it out. Just turn the page. Choose something different. How do you start a new habit? How do you break out of an old pattern? By starting something new. Just start. Just begin. There is so it's about our loving thoughts. It's about noticing my unloving thoughts. So let's say you're having a hard time turning the page on your unloving thoughts. Let's say you're having a hard time turning the page on your worry, your doubt, your fear. So you can notice that. Just bring your awareness to it. Awareness is a part of surrender. Oh, I'm having that worry. And every time that worry comes up, you consciously choose. The situation that I see myself in, that I'm worried about right now, the depression that I'm having right now, the anxiety that I'm having right now, I can choose peace. And there's something in me that's greater than that. I'm blessed as the son and daughter of the Most High. There's something in me that's greater than any problem that I have. And that's the truth, that there is nothing too big for spirit. There's nothing greater than the infinite consciousness that births universes. and galaxies and solar systems and dimensions that's doing it all right now without us having to do anything about it. So any control, any idea, any order that I can assert on reality with a capital R is foreign to the order, balance, and harmony that's already there. Wouldn't it be easier if I stopped for a moment, gave up all of my control mechanisms, gave up all of my striving, all of my trying to accomplish, all of the things that are pushing me forward? That doesn't mean that you give up on life. That doesn't mean that you just sit and meditate. Meditation is very important, and you meditate, you stop, you become still, you pause so that you can hear beyond what the five senses are giving you. Hear beyond the ears, see beyond the eyes. You're hearing and seeing with your entire being. And then you're receiving, you're starting to observe the order, balance, and harmony that's already there. And from that place, I'm connected to it. And then I act, right? Action, inspired action emerges out of that. And now your come from is from a place of wholeness, not a place of lack. If I can stop the unloving thoughts and to realize that those unloving thoughts, those worry thoughts, those fear thoughts, those doubt thoughts, that concern about not accomplishing enough, not being as accomplished as the next person, not having done as much as the other person, not living the life that someone else is living, feeling that my life is somehow not enough. If I can just observe that I'm having that thought, then I can choose peace. Then I can choose to be still. I can choose to not come from that lack thought. And in my stillness, in my pause, in my awareness, I then can choose the opposite. If guilt is keeping me in hell, if my unloving thoughts are keeping me in hell, what is the opposite? Well, quite frankly, the opposite of guilt is innocence. And most of our unloving thoughts, our worry thoughts, our fear thoughts, our doubt thoughts, our not enough thoughts are coming from our deeply embedded unconscious guilt and shame. And now this is unconscious. You're saying, I don't have a lot of guilt and shame. I don't truck with that. Well, that's why it's unconscious. It's deeply seated. And your conscious mind isn't aware of it. But that unconscious thought is calling the shots. And so we consciously choose something different repeatedly. And as we do that repeatedly, we begin to cultivate a field of awareness. We begin to cultivate a field of availability to become open and available to something that is seeking to emerge that's already there. And I'm blocking it with my fear. I'm blocking it with my worry. I'm blocking it with my control. I'm taking a beautiful class right now at Agape on the Aramaic and Semitic interpretation of the Bible. And so we're looking at what Jesus spoke Aramaic. He didn't speak English. English wasn't around then, And so what is the original language of these writings? It was translated from Aramaic into Greek, and then 11 translations before it gets to the King James Version or any English version that we have from other languages. And guess what? There were all sorts of idioms and cultural references and ideas, ways of seeing the world that are embedded in the language of the Semitic Aramaic tradition. So I want to tell you this about opening up to the reality, what we were just talking about, turning the page on our unloving thoughts. And it comes from Mark 7:31. That's why I'm quoting the Bible, bitches. Mark 7:31. You might check your King James Red Letter Edition to find that is where Jesus, they bring a deaf and a mute. Oh, timer went off again. I am blessed as the Son of God. I am clear. I am connected. I am guided and provided for, directed and protected. I'm courageous. I'm strong. I'm happy and I'm beautiful. Okay, back to it. So in this story in the Bible at Mark 7:31, they bring this man who is deaf and mute. They called it deaf and dumb, right? And they bring this guy to Jesus because nobody else could do anything. The Pharisees, the rabbis, the healers of the day, they couldn't heal this guy. So they were like bringing him to Jesus. Like, okay, let's see what you can do. You son of God, think you're so bad. Think you're so badass. Let's see what you can do, Jesus. By the way, Jesus wasn't his name. His name was Yeshua. And Yeshua actually translates into Joshua. So Jesus is a Western name placed on a man who was not Western and who didn't speak Greek or Roman or English or any of those other languages. He spoke Aramaic, and his name was Yeshua. And Yeshua means Joshua. That's interesting because Joshua and Moses were leading. Moses was leading the Israelites for 40 years, and he couldn't enter the promised land. Joshua could. So it's interesting that Jesus' name is actually Yeshua. And so they bring Yeshua, this man who can't hear and can't see, or can't hear and can't speak, excuse me. And it says in this passage that he puts his fingers in the guy's ear, and then he spits like a big old Semitic guttural coming up from the throat kind of spit. And he takes that spit and reaches into the guy's mouth and pulls on his tongue. And he says this Aramaic word, ephata. And because in the King James Version of the Bible, King James didn't want any Jewish people, anybody who spoke Hebrew, working on his translation of the Bible, which was unfortunate because those were the closest people to the Semitic tradition at the time. But he didn't want any of those people doing the Bible, that translation. So they didn't know how to translate ephata. They just left that word in there. That was actually an Aramaic word that was in the Bible, and it's still in there. They just left that word in there, ephata. And in Aramaic, what I'm learning about the Aramaic language is that it has 3 or 4 or 5 different meanings to each word, all at the same time. So the word ephata means open, means to open something. It also means to begin, and it means to start. What's the difference between beginning and starting? So to begin something, like a beginning, middle, and an end, and also to start is like and it has a connotation of like a germination period, like pregnancy, where something is beginning and it has an end, but then the ending is a new beginning, right? The beginning is pregnancy, there's a gestation, and then there's the birth. That's the end of pregnancy and the beginning of life. So it has all of these connotations at once, ephata. And he's speaking to a guy who can't hear. And the guy is healed. He can hear. He opens. He starts. He begins. And this is the beginning of his new life. There was a birth. It started. And now it continues. So I told you that story because we're now talking about our ephata, our beginning, our starting, our opening, which is I'm open to see the order and the balance and the harmony that's already there. I'm open to receive the abundance and the prosperity and the joy and the intelligence and the wisdom that's already there. I don't have to create it. I don't have to make it. In fact, I can't create anything. I can't make anything. It's already being done. I can connect with it and allow it to carry me like a stream. So here we are. If guilt is keeping us in hell, if our unconscious guilt and shame is keeping us in hell, and what is our unconscious guilt and shame? Gets projected out onto the world and onto people as judgment and opinion and criticism and cynicism and our own sadness and depression and anxiety and not enoughness, all of the things that we want to change about ourselves. How do I get rid of my sadness? How do I get rid of my depression? How do I get rid of my anxiety? How do I get rid of this ruminating loop of it's never going to happen for me? Life is passing me by. How do I get rid of that? You ephata. You start, you begin, you open to receive that which is already there. The first principle here is that Life has already prepared itself for us. It's already given us everything that we need. It's already there. We were born into this magnificent world where every pharmaceutical, all the medicines were already there in the plants. All of the opportunity to build our houses, to create community, to plant the seeds, everything was already there. We just worked with it. Our creation is based on the fundamental creation that's already existent. So I don't have to work so hard. You don't have to work so hard. It's all already there. Life has already prepared itself, prepared everything for us. If I can stop and pause, shift my thinking, choose a new thought, this situation that I find myself in, this fear that I find myself in, this worry that I find myself in, this anxiety that I find myself in, I can choose something different. I can choose peace. I can choose confidence. I can choose joy. I can choose to be open. I can choose to start again. I can choose to begin again. I can choose to start something new. I can choose to turn the page. I can choose to open up and pluck it out and let life carry me forward. And then my actions are based on a creative principle of wholeness. And wholeness is the only thing that creates. Wholeness is the only thing that heals. Wholeness is the only thing that soothes. Wholeness is the only thing that we can base and build anything upon. If we build anything upon something other than wholeness, it's building in the sand, building on an unstable foundation that will shift. And that's where we find ourselves so much in life today, is people have achieved so much in their lives and it doesn't matter. They're not happy. It's not enough. The fame, the success, the money, the sex, the relationships, the hot guy or the hot girl, the material possessions aren't enough. Do you ever feel that way? Like, I have all this stuff now and it's still not enough. I got to go buy more. I just keep buying to keep trying to fill this hole. That's building our dreams, building our lives on an unstable foundation of lack that we've projected out onto the world so that we can keep it away from ourselves. And what we're being asked to do is to observe those unloving thoughts and begin to turn the page on them, to begin to change our thinking, to begin to effata, to open, to start. Turn the page today. Today's the day. Now is the time. This is the appointed time to turn the page and choose something different. I am a son and daughter of the Most High. I'm a son and daughter of a power that knows no opposite, that nothing is too big for. And if I can just surrender into that, I'll then move from inspired action. I'll then build the rest of my empire on solid ground, on the strong foundation that I already have. The strong foundation that's already there in all of life. It's already there. Everything we need, already there. So we begin to anchor into this principle that it's already been given to us. We need not struggle. We need not strive. So we want to get out of hell. Choose the opposite. Choose the opposite of that thought that's keeping you down, and release yourself from our own imprisonment, our own inner civil war, struggling and fighting against ourselves. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's the talk for today. I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful to have this talk with you guys. Beverly says, you are the universe speaking to me today. JJ, thank you. Got to go back and catch the beginning. It's another one here. Thank you, Beverly. Yes, I agree that we are all part of this universal presence, and it's the universe speaking to you because you are the universe and I am the universe. It's God speaking to God, spirit speaking to spirit, wholeness speaking to wholeness. We're all part of it. We're all being grateful for you, Beverly. Thank you. We are all serving the great plan of love. We're all serving this great plan of love because we all take part in the purpose of the universe. And if we take part in the purpose of the universe, we take part in the Creator's purpose. And just as we are perfectly flawed with all the cracks, with all the perceived inequities, it's all serving. Now's the time. Today's the day. Beautiful. Thank you. Blessings. Blessings, blessings, blessings for all of us. Peace to all, love to all, beauty to all, blessings to all, joy to all. To all those that are suffering, we send out a little prayer that we all get to experience this joy. Everyone's divine birthright, derecho de nacimiento, everybody's birthright is to live a peaceful, joyful, happy, harmonious, abundant, prosperous, excellent, creative, ordered, balanced, love-filled, joy-filled life. It's everyone's birthright. We hold that awareness now for all those that are suffering, that they experience this too, because if it happens to the least of us, it happens to all of us. So we get into the unified consciousness of the oneness, the one source, the one life, the one beauty, the one goodness. And we know that it's available for everyone if we just efata, if we just open and begin and start. It starts with us. And so it is. Amen. Actually, it would be Amen. It rhymes with chow mein. That's how the Aramaic would pronounce it. Amen. 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 Amen.